Hey folks, welcome to the UDO for Unit 4, Lesson 1, where you'll be annotating and moving information into a graphic organizer. Today's current topic is going to be about climate change. You may have heard about this in the news or in your science classes, so it's really something going on pretty prevalently around the world. So that's going to be our sort of science-based focus right now. Now, remember when you annotate, you can see that I've already used my line tool to make my lines and cut out my sections. Right. Next, I'm going to want to highlight that title, and I'm going to use the comment button to make a comment. I'm going to turn that into a question. Now, this is already a question, but I want to add to that question. So I'm going to say, like, how climate change, or I might say, why is climate change affecting multiple regions, and how does it affect them, right? So I've included that into a question, but I've also added to it. And remember, this is helping us guide our reading. As we're reading, we're always trying to look for the answers to our question, right? You'll also notice over here, I've placed the list of keywords for compare and contrast, and it'll look like it's off screen, and so you just use this bar to get to it like that, right? And so what I want to do is I'm going to kind of read through this list a couple times, get myself familiar with it, and then I'm going to just kind of skim through and see. Okay, so there's a word, compare. I'm just going to highlight in yellow anytime I sort of see some of those words. Most importantly, conversely, as well as in contrast to, it's a good one. Right? And so now I know when I hit those points in my reading that I will need to pay closer attention to that spot, right? And then remember, as we're reading, according to NASA, climate change describes a change in the average conditions such as temperature and rainfall in a region over a long period of time. All right, so I know that's a really important piece of information because it defines climate change, right? This means that scientists track how much rainfall in an area or how hot it gets, the average temperatures of water at the coast, or how much ice is melting and refreezing in the Arctic. Then they compare previous years to current years to see if it's getting better or worse. Climate change can have lots of effects on different regions of the world and their environments. I think I'm going to highlight this area, this too. Compare previous years to current years. That's a really important. And I also noticed that this is not a signal word necessarily, because it's not comparing two things. It's just using the word compare, so I'm going to re-highlight that to green. Now remember, when I want to do my summaries, I'm going to highlight the whole thing, and then hit comment, and then I can just be like, climate change is change to the overall environment and is tracked by scientists, right? So I think that's a pretty good summary there. All right, now as I go through, remember, if you find a word that you don't really necessarily understand, so like down here, vortexes, maybe I don't know what that means. I'm going to right click, I'm going to hit define. You can see you can also hit Control-Shift-Y to do this. All right, and it says a mass of whirling fluid or air. So I want to copy that, come back over here, and make a comment, paste. I also want to highlight that in red, so that way I know it's one of those words I wasn't sure. So when I click, I can find what I'm looking for. Alright. And remember, the last thing you want to do is you want to write out your answer to your question. Right? So down here, you're just going to have a text box on here. And you're just going to, type out the answer to your focus question that you wrote based on the title. Right? Easy peasy. Okay. So when you finish that, your next thing is here you have the compare and contrast chart. So what you're going to do is you're going to change these headings to whatever it was. So this was ice in the Arctic, right? That was the first section here. And then the second section is actually about winter storms and in the southern regions of the United States. So winter storms in more southern regions. And then what you're going to do below that is you're going to sort of type out any of the facts that you find. So like this is caused by polar air coming south. This says things like polar bears use ice to hunt. Ice is not forming or melting more and more each year, things like that. And then you're going to use this box to sort of describe all the things in here that are different than all the things over here. And then you'll use this box to describe all the things in here that are different than the things in here. So like, this might be like caused by polar air coming south, increase in ice and snow, right? This might be decrease in ice and snow caused by warming water temperatures. Whatever the facts in this are, that's where we're going to place them. And then in the middle, we're going to put the things that are the same. Climate change is affecting how animals and humans get food in both regions. Right? Something like that. I'm also going to there it goes. I'm also going to copy my focus question right here, and then I would copy my answer to my focus question right here. Right? So, and with that, you are done with your annotation and your graphic organizer for the work for the week. Good job. You need go ahead and return to the Google Classroom, submit this work, and then you're going to want to do your exit ticket. All right. Good job.